Andrea Kellerman.
Hi, and I'm Karen Elphick.
And we're from Aśikarva, and we just wanted to guide you through some of the questions that we got from lots of people about our retreats.
So my first question to you is, what first drew you to Egypt?
I would say that when I was a small child, I already was really drawn to Egypt. Something internally always drew me to Egypt. And when I landed the first time in Egypt, I literally felt that I was home. And when I was there in Egypt, I couldn't believe it. All these amazing, huge structures that are still there from thousands and thousands of years. And I also felt that I connected so beautifully with the people there. I felt so safe. I literally felt at home. And that amazing feeling that one gets in these megalithic structures, I've never felt before. I traveled quite a lot already, but Egypt is just completely different, and that's why I'm always going back and totally in awe, and every single time is just a completely different experience and transformation. So Egypt for me is just the place to go.
That's amazing. So when you say you feel at home, is it more a feeling? What do you mean by feeling at home?
So feeling at home for me is literally as if when I stepped on the soil, I felt like I knew my way around. I felt like I belonged there. And as I said, the people as well, they're so welcoming. And when I was in these different places, I often had, like one would say, déjà vu. So it's a remembrance. And that is what Egypt is, this remembrance of going deeper and understanding and opening up all those different, maybe subconscious locked doors to go deeper and really go back to who you truly are. And that is, for me, what Egypt actually opens up. So, Karen, you obviously have come a number of times as well to Egypt. So what would you say surprised you the most when you took people to Egypt?
So there are a number of things, but the first thing that struck me was the sense of time. I honestly felt when I arrived that I had entered this time warp, and it's the first time that I actually truly understood what the concept of time not being linear, that in fact it's circular, that it's spiral. And the second thing is the power of manifestation. Literally, when you go to Egypt with awareness and intention, be careful what you wish for, because it happens, like everything is amplified, it happens almost instantaneously. And then the third thing, of course, is just being witness to the transformations that occur in every single participant and how individuated it is. Yes. I found that very humbling.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. I agree.
So people often ask whether Egypt is transformative itself or whether it's the facilitators that make the difference. What is your perspective on this?
I do feel that Egypt is quite transformative in a sense that if I want to call it like a container, if the container is prepared and opened nicely and the facilitators know what they're doing and they are able to prepare the person, hold space and also help with the integration, which is actually the most important part, then Egypt is very transformative. So obviously all these different megalithic structures like the pyramids and the sphinx and the temples were all built according to specific dimensions, sequences, and if you think of alignments with the stars and mathematical structures. So there is a lot of thought that has gone into it, and that still is there. So they have measured a lot of magnetic fields there, and they say that there are codes embedded into a lot of structures. So definitely Egypt is very unique and is completely different to any place that I've ever been to. So that is very true. However, there are also a lot of tourists that go there and they don't feel any of these things because they don't go at the right time, they're not prepared properly. So I feel the mixture of it, how we do it, how we go privately into places without other people, without other people's energies of like 100 million tourists going in there. So all of that is very, very important. And then also being, for instance, in the King's Chamber privately for 2 hours, do meditation, sound healing and breath work. So that amplifies everything. And in between as well, the beautiful conversations that we have, and the workshops that we do. So everything together, I feel, actually shifts people, and it aligns people, and it allows you to get that goal, outcome, purpose that you're looking for so much better. Like you said, when you manifest there, it's amplified, and watch out for what you really are asking for. And that is what we do with the facilitation, and then also the beautiful places in Egypt.
And then I think I'd like to add that also, I think not too many people are aware that the way that the temples and pyramids were designed and built were designed not randomly. They were actually designed not to work independently, but together as a network. And that they are actually kind of building blocks for every step of the way of a person's transformation.
Exactly.
And then I think of ourselves as gardeners, the facilitators as gardeners, where we actually help people. We prepare the soil, we put the nutrients in there, we make sure that there's enough sunlight and water, because the seed needs those conditions in order for it to flourish.
Yes, beautifully said.
So what do you think people misunderstand about an Egypt retreat?
So I think what people often have in mind of a retreat is maybe yoga and looking at sites. So that's maybe different to just a normal tourist trip, but they don't quite understand the magnificence of the places and the energy that it holds and the transformation. And exactly what you said earlier, with the time not being linear, and when you think something or ask yourself questions, how quickly you get answers and how quickly you can move on and transform. So I've seen that when I, for instance, have had people in my practice for years and now they've come with us to Egypt, how they moved on. So what they would often say is that one day in Egypt is equivalent to a number of weeks of coming for a one-on-one. So I think people don't quite understand that a retreat like that can be that powerful and that transformative. And the mixture of how we put it together, and exactly like what you said, the sequence that is understood, that is built up from going from the one to the next place, makes such a huge difference. And then also the pre-work and the integration, that is so important. That for me is a retreat that we offer. So it's very, very encompassing of everything, and it's not just looking at sites and maybe doing some yoga.
And then I think also the other important thing that is misunderstood is that it's just a once-off experience, and you'll come out of there and you'll be transformed, you'll be this new person. But it isn't about becoming something new, it's about awakening yourself up at a cellular memory, remembering who you truly are at a soul level. But more importantly, the most important thing is that the work only begins when you get back home. And that's where integration is so important, and where we as facilitators love to help people so that this new state of being becomes a way of life.
Exactly.
Otherwise the retreat just becomes a distant memory, a faded memory, and did it actually happen? Didn't it happen?
Yeah, and then it's sort of just like a trip. And it's interesting that you say that, because one of the people that joined us on our last trip, he actually sent a message and said, "Thank you for walking home with me." So that is exactly what it means, that you, maybe because of everyday life, maybe because of all your responsibilities or things that have happened, or you're at a crossroad, that you now don't know maybe who you are anymore, or where to go, or how to shift things, how to fulfill your needs, how to be happy. And it exactly gives you that pause, the angle of a different perception, and then that opening up, all these massive doors that are opened up, and then you go deeper into yourself, feel safe, feel home, and from there, that's when the whole transformation and integration works.
Yes, and I think also going back to what you said about Egypt creating the conditions, us as facilitators creating the conditions. It's a space where you are not there alone. You are supported by all the other people in the group. There's a group coherence, so you have the support of that community. And the conditions also allow a person to become more vulnerable, put their guard down, and so they have all these emotional experiences that they don't allow themselves to have back at home, just because of responsibility and all those other things. So it's a wonderful sense of just being able to be and see what happens.
Exactly. And not to have to be a human doing, but a human being.
If someone came with an open heart but no particular spiritual experience, what could they expect?
So that's, I think, where our retreat is also really amazing, because a lot of people take participants on a spiritual retreat, and I feel ours is for anyone. So as long as you feel that you really would like to come, obviously that's why you're coming, and your heart is open, meaning that you are open for anything that occurs that is transitioning, then I think one really has a really great chance to just learn to be open to all of these different energies and shift naturally. So you actually don't have to really do that much. You don't have to be spiritual. You don't have to. And that is exactly what we stand for. So that a person is just open, often without any expectations, just curious, and then it often works even better, because then that curiosity is just amazing, and that just, the one rolls over into the next, and the unfolding is the most magical than what we see.
Yes, I agree. I would also have to say that the thing that I noticed the most as well is that when you come into a space like this, you experience a new state of being. If nothing else, what you can expect is just a new state of being, something that you've never experienced before.
Yeah, and that in itself already is so altering and powerful. Yeah,
can be life-changing.
Very much so. And that's what we, I think, experienced every time again when we take people, that everyone feels it's completely life-changing.
And I think also the other great thing is that if they go away with nothing else, but often they find that their relationships with themselves and with other people are better when they get home. Clarity about things, more awareness, become more aware of their bodies. There are lots of really, really amazing things that happen.
Yeah, powerful benefits. And everyone feels a lot calmer. And they also generally feel that because we connect with people months after months after months, and they just feel it ongoing, they feel a lot more that they can trust themselves and trust the flow of life. They also feel that...
And safe.
Exactly, they feel a lot safer within themselves. And if they didn't know how to, for instance, achieve a certain something, or what purpose they have, or where they need to now go, all of these questions are generally answered, and that is really incredible. So yes, you don't have to be spiritual, just be open and enjoy the whole experience.
We welcome everybody. Yes.